today, Rinpoche pointed out once again how important analysis is if one wishes to achieve single-pointed concentration. There are various levels one goes through in order to achieve that final goal, which require analysis. Strictly emptying the mind of thought is not meditation on emptiness. Page 84, right at the bottom, where it says, once things happen, you have said to have attention. That'll be where we begin today's class. Okay, so if we were to look at the teachings of Lord Buddha, and we were to summarize them, we would be able to summarize them according to the teachings shared in common with beings of three capacities. As a note, we find that the beginning source of dividing these in this way in Atisha's Lamp for the Path to Enlightenment, and then expanded upon in the Lama Tsongkhapa's Lamrim text, this being the largest version of all of the texts. So these three categories are as follows. The teachings that are called shared in common with beings of small capacity are the first level of teachings, and these are for practitioners who wish to achieve rebirth in the higher realms of cyclic existence in his or her next life. So the practitioner then engages in going for refuge to the three jewels of the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, engaging in ethical behavior that abandons the 10 non-virtuous activities and acknowledging one's downfalls. So in dependence upon these practices, one is able to achieve higher realm rebirth in one's next life. The next category of teachings are called the teachings shared in common with beings of medium capacity. And these are for practitioners who wish to achieve their own individual liberation, their own nirvana. And these practitioners engage in the three highest higher trainings, the highest higher training in ethics, concentration, and wisdom. In dependence upon these three highest higher trainings, the practitioner of the medium scope is able to achieve nirvana. And then the last category, the teachings for beings of great capacity, are for beings who wish to achieve complete Buddhahood. And these teachings are, this practitioner engages in the practices already mentioned and then combines them with the generation of bodhicitta, or the mind that aspires to enlightenment, and then engages in the six perfections practice. In dependence upon those practices, this practitioner achieves Buddhahood. So this is how we would divide all of Buddha's teachings into three categories, the categories for beings of three capacities. Diksong Rinpoche. So, Yabudu. So all sentient beings possess Buddha potential, sometimes called Buddha nature. This is because of two reasons. There is the nature, the developmental nature, and the natural nature. Or that which can be developed, the nature that can be developed, and then the natural, the actual nature. That which can be developed, and then the actual nature. So the actual nature is that all sentient beings have Buddha potential because all sentient beings possess a mental consciousness that is not truly established, or that is empty. So this is the first reason for Buddha potential, that like Buddha, all sentient beings possess this mental consciousness which is not truly established. And then that which can be developed, which is the Buddha potential, that which can be developed is shown by the actual mental consciousness itself. The mental consciousness itself the fact that there is that shows that there is something that can be developed into Buddhahood. So first it's the mental consciousness itself, which is the that which can be developed, and then there is the lack of true establishment of that mental consciousness, and that's the natural Buddha nature. So it's for this reason that we say all, if you were to literally translate it, you would say all sentient beings have Buddha. But that's very easy to misinterpret because there isn't some Buddha inside of us, as a translator's note, that's going to just pop out. There is a potential within us to transform that which isn't Buddha into Buddha. So the potential is what that Buddha that we have is. It's abiding in a potential, or that is the nature of it. But it isn't something other than that. Geshe Rinpoche.
Shaja tubala sobato samalo iji shibade amaruwa yotong sanje sembares nenga suyo kale jaga ina and sanje maybe just yomara sanje tugures.
Buddha Shakyamuni, like ourselves, Buddha Shakyamuni had before he was, just as a translator's note, Buddha Shakyamuni has mental consciousness, meaning also before Buddha was Buddha. Buddha was Prince Siddhartha in the story, so that mental consciousness is what was able to become a Buddha. So just like ourselves, the Buddha Shakyamuni, has a mental consciousness, and B, a mental consciousness that is not truly established. And it's for those reasons that we say all sentient beings possess Buddha potential. So as a translator's note, sentient being is, if you look at semchen, it means mind possessor in English. And we turn it into sentient being, but the word semchen means mind possessor. So we say if all sentient beings have mental consciousness, therefore they have Buddha potential. It's a qualification of a sentient being that there's a mind there. Sentient is mind possessor.
Tata machine the Hadmu to let the Noa. Shinesina Lope Tiji to Nedva Shebajilla Shinelogres. Hadun Sana and Shiro Chajilla Hadun Logres.
So now we've arrived at the section in the text where there's the discussion of calm abiding and special insight. So calm abiding is having the ability to rest on a single object of observation without wavering in meditation, so indefinitely. So it's this calm abiding is that, and special insight is a wisdom united with that ability, that single-pointed ability. So special insight is a wisdom arisen. I don't know if it would be a. Let me see. I'm sorry, the best way would be a wisdom that is focused single-pointedly but with calm abiding. So it's a union, what it's called is a union of calm abiding and wisdom. So uniting calm abiding and special insight. Diso.
Tadabu shune shine tuba ila sheba jishisha. Shesomba tara ila sheba toba shebe transo chuban jude santen tombi nyeduji dubi shine tobe nyaba jabi sabi yiji chonshu tobi shiro tata yanya sale ti wodo nenju wale le tombo wa ti ila sheba cheba yinde ila sheba na chebi shesha yu transun ro te chi shirshina te tambo zu na shebi nyaba jabe sabi ila sheba chungu tubi shede tene ila sheba na cheba shesha wo she sonso nyaba jabe 사네 강고만이 사이 미게 나눠서 니바 일하시바다 대비 따네 가다 되나 예지 토바오 시라다 젠지 리바시 따다 참만 대답 토바데 주지 세드베 세당 르당 산신도 장바自己把日총호 토바다 시라지 나바진 대비 나바진지 라지 녀모바 나바 용와라 네바다 대버는 좋아다 나도 녀바 잡아나 녀녀 르세 시장 저와 좋아다 되발라 소비 지방아 페이지를 문종와다 냐자래 라비 체야 르세 시장 가르다 대바나 예노 대다야 녀살래 레동보 일하시바나 제비티 다는 데다 이데 대조나쉐비 산총어 토바다 르신도 장바 산신도 장바다 제지바 총어 토바다 녀모바 나바주 메발라 유 그와여주네 바다 대세다 산지 준장바는 좋아다 신내다 여하트바다 셰다 대나도 야다 조반도데 산뜨바시나 뇨뇨와 산다 르신도 잡아 좋아다 르다 내게래 르지 내게래 타게 신도 내바만 좋아다 리바나 시시를 그도 좋아다 시다 라데 좋아나야 르다 산신도 잡아 가지다 대바는 좋아다 대답보다 튀바 다네 일하시바다 제비 다다 참아 용수 상황 이바 리바쇼 셰송소 다다네 다다다 대비 이제도 투네네 신내지 라냐소 Chenrezig 용수 따봐 좋아 칠하대 대대를 센지비시네 나바자비 조도 녀보 르시도 장바단 대비 니베 신도 장바 표원줄라 신장제사 배워 장지장 센지비시네 배 편준지기 지 표와시비시로 대다야 녀살래 제다 대일로던 산신도 잡아 표와 대다대달 매바 제지바 닐라 나바 표원 줄라 제다 산지지바니 나바 표와 대다빌로던 산신도 잡아야 표와 줘대 최니분들은 따다테 센스지바다 신도 장바다 찔라찌템바 찔라찌라레바 이노 셰송소호스
나망에 트와 연차 mencha.
Yeah.
Sorry. Bad timing.
르신장도 산신장 르신장스나 루부기지 롱질라고 그래서 롱
Less so.
롱 사바지 레용도 오데 르르지부시다 산신장 이지시바 오이지로 왔다.
So what happens with mental and physical pliancy is that a new wind arrives from as a result of meditation within the body. The wind changes, and as a result of that, a physical pliancy develops, which is a blissful feeling of the body, a tactile, blissful feeling. And mental pliancy occurs, which is a blissful feeling of the mind, or mental state. Better say mental state. So this is this is how mental and physical pliancy occur, and what occurs when they occur. So go back to where we were. Okay, so once things happen, you are said to have attention. You achieve serenity, and you are included among the ranks of those who have achieved attention. For by achieving serenity, which is included in the access to the first stabilization, you achieve the smallest type of attention on the level of meditative equipoise. This accords with the statement in the Shrivaka levels. Thereafter, the novice yogi is endowed with intention and is included in the ranks of those who are called attentive. Why? Because this person has achieved a small type of attention, on the level of meditative equipoise that first experiences the form realm. Therefore, this person is called attentive. The level of meditative equipoise is a synonym for the level of the two higher realms, the form and formless realms. The marks associated with attention in the elimination of qualms. These are the marks and signs to be known by yourself and others as the criteria for having achieved attention. You who have achieved such attention have these marks. The achievement in small measure of these four, your mind belongs to the level of form, physical pliancy, mental pliancy, and one-pointedness of mind. The ability to purify the afflictions either by means of the path, bearing the aspects of calmness and coarseness, or the path bearing the aspects of the truths. Once your mind is established inwardly, meditative equipoise and physical and mental pliancy arrive ever so swiftly. For the most part, the five obstructions, such as sensual desire, do not occur. When you rise from meditative equipoise, you still possess physical and mental pliancy to some extent. Thus, the Shrivaka level says, these are the marks of a novice who is endowed with attention. You achieve the small degree of mind that experiences the form realm, physical pliancy, mental pliancy, and the small degree of one-pointedness of mind. You have the opportunity and the ability to practice with objects of meditation that purify afflictions. Your mind stream becomes smooth and you are enveloped by meditative serenity. And when your mind is perfectly drawn inward, settled and focused, mental and physical pliancy occur ever so swiftly. You are not afflicted by physical dysfunction, and for the most part the obstructions do not operate. Even when you rise from meditation and move out, you still have a certain degree of physical and mental pliancy. Recognize such experiences to be purified characteristics and signs of possessing attention. After you have achieved attention bearing such characteristics, it is very easy for the path of serenity to be thoroughly purified as follows. After you have achieved equipoise in meditative serenity in which your mind is one-pointed, you are swiftly able to induce physical and mental pliancy so that pliancy increases. Commensurate with the increase of pliancy, one-pointed serenity increases so that they mutually enhance each other. The Shrivaka levels. Just as your physical and mental pliancy increase, so does your mental one-pointedness upon the object of meditation increase. And just as your mental one-pointedness increases, so does your physical and mental pliancy increase. These two phenomena, mental one-pointedness and pliancy, are based upon each other and are dependent upon each other. In summary, when your mind is serviceable, energy and mind focuses on as one, so the energy becomes serviceable. At that time, an extraordinary physical pliancy occurs, and when this happens, exceptional concentration arises in the mind. This in turn brings forth an exceptionally serviceable energy. Therefore, the process of mental and physical pliancy is as explained above. Dixon.
The
dopa. The dopa chepa.
Dona le. Dona sen les long sen juba jibela.
Dixon. The thing is sampa, the kashe Dixon.
Yeah. C'est long les cheba jin rube le na sen shin de jamba. Temba te kashe ba taro. Doba jeba na temba na. Sheshin Chubin Bezun Maji Jang Tingan Don Ruyu Matubi San Gubi Goso Sheba Tang Tayang Shinwan Tamane Jang Gabi Sichay Nga Tang Demba Tang ngā lō sēn shēn tō yāmbā kā sū shē bā tā rā lōng lē sō rōng yu tū lō tāng sēn lā pū tō shōng yu dāwā tī tēngān zī ngā rā tā jī kā sū shē bā tā rā dāwā lā dōmbā sū jī nye yu nye mō nā chāng pē chī rī mū chō wā tāng nyā jā lē lā bī tsē yāng shēn tō yāmbā tāng mē yu dēn tāng dēmbā tē chē bā nā lā ngā yu kā tō jō jē nā dēndā yu tēngān zī chē nā nā shē rī tē bā chēn bī lā tō jō jē chē bā tō 신장 지와다 제수들이 롱 르타지 대유 강화 다른 나와 대비 르다 살라 대장 첨부 지와다 대야 모두바다 시치유 쳐바다 대바 통내 nenju lame che durin chenye ba yonso zubi nenju do deba nghuan dang tata che duna shin do mawa shungshin shung hango yuan jang jesuen ma bomba dang papa tume la subi yung chewa dang omi kuyo gongrin la subi tingan zinji rinpa sewa tunbi cheden je yung la tenne jena nandanda yi tingan zinte teba chenpo tache me teba mebi lang doya yaba menu de nyedu ji sale santen tombi nyedu drubi shiraji naba jendu tayu jiden bi lang naja tingan zinte la tenne druba sombi shiru ti shiru bi chansong jiden bi lang ji jeyang meba meshi ji sawoma la chabadan trewa shiba na jang dala tenne la goma dro kubi shibadan naba nyi ji tengen zi tumowa ino teyang da meba shiji maluba tubi tawa dang seba tada ki juan lebar tu ne kuwa la yin zhong yu taba dunyi ngan zhong ki samba sina sambe sina tabi lang dung zhong xin shang zhong ji sen ji sina ne chi sina teba chenpi lang dung yang zhong de pe na dundu la sen chang ji terwa yinba dang cu zhin na ji songwa yang samba dada kisina rinpa dara taba dang tangchi shenpi langchi chudun jowa dang rawu yuan jang dene lang shenshi ki senpi gu ne taba dang tangchi shenpi lang dang ro ma joba menchi tingan zing rangi ngu gu ne lang dang ro joba yino oma wa dang senzang ba yang ladung ki tayu yu jitar tenlan beba mutunba yu jang shila ki mutun tata ki tuba ju la chulu shila mutunba mendo tena papa tumen chi shansa dang tenla waba duwa dang kunle tu dang nyetu chi sa yungsu shene dang ladung susuru shebi nane shene druba sen guyu rinpi druba songshin tenya nyetu ji sar jebar tenla paba yinbe tengan zi tada ladung ki losu meje de yung tada to ladung sen gule losu shejin te drubi lo jang nyesa le shebi shiro What did you do, Jana?
Decent. Okay. 546. Shiro. Okay. Move to 547. The elimination of qualms is as follows. Qualm. Accordingly, it is said of the non-discursive ninth mental state that even without continual effort at mindfulness and vigilance, your mind becomes concentrated. Moreover, you are endowed with an intensity of clarity that prevents even subtle laxity, and as in the earlier presentation of physical pliancy, there is concentration that yields outstanding well-being in your body and mind due to the power of serviceable energy, as explained in the above section on the marks associated with attention. For the most part, there is no movement of the secondary afflictions of sensual desire and so on, and even when you arise from meditative equipoise, you have the quality of not being parted from pliancy. In terms of the 5 paths, where does this occur? Reply. In the past as well as the present, there have been a great number of people who assert that when such concentration arises, it is generally to be placed on the Mahayana path. Specifically, they assert this as a contemplation in which characteristics of the completion stage of highest yoga in which the characteristics of the completion stage of the highest yoga tantra are perfected. They draw this conclusion upon noting the occurrence of a great experience of bliss in the body and mind, based on a feeling as if one's entire body were filled with ecstasy due to the energy corresponding to the arising of pliancy, as well as the attributes of non-discursive awareness and great clarity. However, when this is analyzed on the basis of the classic texts of the Venerable Maitreya, the Noble Asanga, and so on, the authoritative texts, such as the Madhyamika stages of meditation that clearly set forth the stages of concentration, it is not possible to place this kind of concentration even on the Hinayana path, let alone the Mahayana, for the Sravaka level states that even the mundane paths which look to the aspects of calmness and coarseness for accomplishing the actual first stabilization are accomplished on the basis of this concentration. Therefore, non-Buddhist sages who by means of mundane paths free themselves from attachment to the level of nothingness and lower levels must proceed to higher paths on the basis of this concentration. So it is as a concentration common to non-Buddhists as Buddhists. Furthermore, if this concentration is imbued with the view that correctly knows selflessness and with the attitude of determination to be free, which properly ascertains the faults of the whole of cyclic existence, is repelled by the cycle of the existence and diligently strives for liberation, it turns into the path to liberation. If it is imbued with the precious spirit of enlightenment, it turns into the Mahayana path. For example, if the generosity of giving a single morsel of food to an animal and observing even one type of ethical discipline are imbued with these attitudes, they turn into the collection of merit on the paths of liberation and omniscience, respectively. Nevertheless, in the case of this question, you do not investigate whether it becomes a path of liberation and omniscience in terms of its being imbued with other paths. Rather, you investigate which path it becomes by the very nature of the concentration itself. Therefore, there are inconsistencies between the Madhyamika and Chittamantran ways of establishing the object of the view of insight. In general, there are no inconsistencies in their identifications of serenity and insight, or in the way they develop knowledge of these in their mind streams. Therefore, the Noble Asanga states in his Bodhisattva levels, Compendium of Determinations, Compendium of Knowledge, and Sravaka levels that within the contents of individual practices of serenity and insight, when serenity is accomplished, it is accomplished through the stages of the 9 mental states. Moreover, since this is elaborately set forth in the Sravaka levels, these 9 concentrations are not asserted as a means for accomplishing insight. In those treatises, insight is explained separately from the 9 mental states, and the means of accomplishing it are also explained separately in Asanga's Sravaka levels. Moreover, the Madhyamaka stages of meditation texts and Ratna Karashanti's instructions for perfection of wisdom also separately discuss the path of serenity, consisting of 9 mental states, and the path of insight. Jigsaw.
la shachune somba naja tomeji twale luna mebe Shinda Chenmo Tenzin, de la Gumba Jidu Nango. Kete Nyasa Neshiba de la Dewa Dan, Sewa Yuedu Chujan, Mutuba Samo, Mebe Shine Zang Yin La, Mutuba Yuena Ne, Tumba Niji Tingen Zidu, Juro Nyana, Mutuba Samo, Shisha Yu Sami Dun Kanyi, Susutu Bishira Ji Tayu, Puta Ji Ne, Dene Ti Tindu, Mutuba, Jaba La Shinang Kandu Yang, Mutuba Majuba, Jaba Tangla She La, Tangla She, Tambu Tana, Tendawa Tomba Niji Tingen Zindu, Ku Jajang Dodo, Che Tetan Dona, Ilu Ji Tayu Kwa, Yueba Tanga Meba, Ni Susu Shela, Tawa Yuebi Ganza, Tatu Doja Ne, Mutuba Chungwa Nala, Samu Tomba Niji Tingen Zin, Gomba Yino, Tayu Kwa Mebe Ganza Cheyang, Mutuba Gomba Naji Ne, Gone, Samu Tomba Niji Gomba, Mahino She Susu Shene, Drubar Reche, Cheyang Maseba, Gonze Tanji, Meme Tang, Tseme Da Tomba Nyi La, San Tenba, She, Ma Majawu, Kete Tomba Nyi Kundu Chubi, Da Yue Dan Mechang, La Yi, Sen Tzi Cheyang, Matuba Cheyang, Majuba Jubi, Gon Tanji Tomba Nyi Ji Tingen Zidu, De Nan Nga Shebe, Nyesaji, Nyeduji Sara Sombi, Sheneji, Shuji Tingen Zin, De Najang, Mendo Jinto, Tomba Niji, Tingen Zidu, Kilang Gude, Tada Jang, Tingen Zin La, Jabi, Tsena, Trembadang, Shijin, Tuchungo, Sona, Shara Sheba, Suji Ka, Ngaji Matuba, Tada De Yino, De Me No, She Chungzi Zanyang, Matuba, Chungwa Yinbi Shiro, De Na, Shine Drubi Tingen Zin Na, Naba Tuba Mebi, Naba Tuba Mebi Zunye La, Mebi, Mebara Gondele Sonso, Nyesa Lejang, Di Tse, Tsena Naba Tuba Mebi, Zunye De, Meba Shechin, De Meba Tela, Shuchi Kone, Tenpa Tsichidu, Nyoba Sheche, Tene, Tawa Majeba, Majechin, Nabar Juba Majeba, Shindu, Naba Juba Majeba, Shindu, Tuba Yonsu, Juba Majeba Yino, Shene, Shiraji Nane, Shene Data Shibi Shete, Tea Nyesa Le, Tea Tere, Otuba Chijujana.
Cover. Yon de Nile. Tu cover.
Yan de Niles.
Yan de Nile. Okay, that's good. NGK low. Okay. Where did I leave off in the English?
Page 88, 547.
88, 547. Quam. Oh, there are also no discrepancies. That's right. Yep. Thank you so much. There are also no discrepancies between the statements in the teachings of Maitreya and the commentaries by Asanka. So all the great trailblazers are of the one mind in this regard. Quam. Although bliss and clarity are present in the concentration which is explained in the Shrivaka levels, it is more It is mere sincerity. It is mere serenity, since there is no profound non-discursiveness awareness. But if non-discursive awareness is present, it becomes concentration on emptiness. Reply: by concentrating on emptiness, are you referring to investigating the meaning of profound in the phrase profound non-discursive awareness, by using your discerning wisdom to establish this definitely in the theory and then focusing on this without discursiveness? Or are you referring simply to settling in non-discursive awareness and not analyzing anything? In the first case, I also assert such a practice to be concentration on emptiness. If you assert likewise, there is a distinction between those who have and those who do not have an understanding of the view of the way things are. Those individuals who have the view and sustain a non-discursive awareness upon settling in this view are practicing the profound concentration on emptiness. The meditation of those who lack an understanding of this view and meditate by not thinking about anything is not profound meditation on emptiness. It is valid to claim this distinction. Do not declare that all types of meditation in which you do not think about anything are meditative stabilizations on the objectless, or on the signless, or on emptiness. Quam, regardless of whether or not you have the view that comprehends emptiness, all meditation in which your mind is focused on not thinking about anything and on not analyzing anything is concentration on emptiness. So this is the view of Hashan, the wrong view that's being presented here, the Chinese abbot Hashan. So now the response to negate that wrong view is, in that case you would be forced to assert that even the concentrations along the way to meditative serenity mentioned previously in the passages from Asanga Shravaka levels are concentrations on emptiness. For in those too, when settled in concentration, apart from a few occasions of monitoring and so on, when the strength of mindfulness and vigilance has decreased, you sustain the meditation without the slightest discursive thought of this or this is not this. So no discriminations taking place. If you look at the aggregates, the discrimination aggregate, there's no discrimination taking place. Therefore, the Sutra Unraveling the Intended Meaning says that the concentrations for achieving serenity attend to an image that is without discursive thought. Furthermore, when the context of serenity and insight, Sangha Shravaka levels refer to serenity in this way. Middle, okay. Just a little more. At that time, this concentration attends to an image without discursive thought, and it exclusively focuses mindfulness one-pointedly on the object. It does not examine it, nor classify it, investigate, nor ponder it, nor analyze it. Diksung Rinpoche.
Shene dubi koso ne chene chungwa mebaran jubi jogun nido yung chene na ne sombe Cheyama tubi gong tangche tomba nye gongbi nyalen to doba ne kebe jengi che
Yomai.
Ajanduba.
The ni the 548 Denyi Nisa, yeah, the yang the
Tenyi le Shene ji sen toba dan kete jenge dan magombe nyebe chama dan nabar toba dan nye nyemo batake tawan joro gotan joro meba sheban jona tejon ngochola dadade nyemi nga tonga tenyi che ondo shede tenpa meba da ila sheba meba shede tata tenpa meba tanga ila sheba meba de nabara shijin nabara sena tanga meba nila nyama jaba njoro she sonde dene shene zang drubi kaso son la shene drubi kaso ne chene chungwa meba gongbi gongni to yung sede na ne sonbe ne teyan drubi gong tangche 돈이 공부에 냐란도 너바네 케바 지게지 내 일라 쳐버도 제바매지 일라 샤르매비 공도 송바 가이 타지 돈이 공부 너바 예사이 롱데 레바가바 이노 제야 고네 담볼레 신내 고니네 센지지바 장도 세비시로 너는 신내 타지 시 천이 이노 셰다 셰바다 시시명아 레자 타주 나유 센니라 메바 이지 줘봐 뽕라네 줘봐 뽕라 신내 공바 샤데 셰송데 이지 줘봐네 ndene 도시 나바도바오 예양할 건주진레 신내 센지지바닌레 닐라 셰발라 소바 도다 신다 쳔비 요마도 trané 신내 제야 무도바 레모도 시즌도 되나 돈이 공비 무도바 시즌 돈이 종지 장마도비 무도바 공이 예배 데세 무도바 쇼세 타지 돈이 공도 좀아마자오 다다는데 드나자 수는 대바이데 레버 베네 샴바다 토메라 수비 지신에다 라동기 둘로 샤데 데다 신나네 신내소요 말레비 모두 투비 띵엔지 가지라 시비 자와주비 라동도 트네 텔라 메메도 롱네 균데바 사실 로아 넘어자고 그루체네나 용네 신내사도 루바나 조곤 무토바다 조바 코나다 사통 담보 루바나 소소도비 셰러지 소소신내 제데 공부 송바탈라 도바타지 덴진 도존네 대타진 도데 용세데나 레레버 고도네 다음에 따와 마노와 마녀장 제어모도바 라동 사미 공부 셰바네 자나 그뭐 하상기 로옌다 만데바 코나나데 고레 송라 신도 되시다 세번조로사
The Yabuka. Ganyasana the NGK Leu Sarpa.
Yeah.
The Chan the Truadan Lenja.
Okay.
All right. Okay. That's good. The same text states, when you achieve the mind of serenity in this way, signs, thoughts, or secondary afflictions may appear manifest or become the object because of forgetfulness or the fault of the lack of habituation. Do not fall immediately under the influence of thoughts that you have previously observed, neither recall them nor pay attention to them. In this way, because you are neither being mindful of this object nor attending to it, it dissolves, and when it is expelled, you will settle in the absence of the appearance of these obstructions. This is stated in a passage concerning the practice of meditative serenity alone. In passages concerning the practice of serenity, the authoritative treatises speak only of the meditation that is focused without analytical activity. So to knowledgeable people, the contention that all meditation without any discursive thought at all constitutes the practice of meditation on emptiness is laughable. In particular, this citation from Asanga Shravaka levels also perfectly refutes the assertion that all references to meditation with no mindfulness or attention is meditation on emptiness. Furthermore, Kamala Shila's first stages of meditation says, the nature of serenity is nothing more than a one-pointed mind. This is the general characteristic of all meditative serenity. Ratnakara Santi's Instructions for the Perfection of Wisdom also states, focusing on the mind which is perceiving various things, reject mental conversation and cultivate serenity. Mental conversation is the discursive thought. This is this. Moreover, after earlier citing numerous sutras and treatises by the great trailblazers, including the discussion in the Cloud of Jewels Sutra concerning serenity as mental one-pointedness, I have already explained numerous times that serenity entails no discursive thought whatsoever. Therefore, there is a non-discursive awareness that meditates on emptiness, as well as a non-discursive awareness that lacks even the slightest cognition of emptiness. So do not regard every occurrence of bliss, clarity, and non-discursive awareness as meditation on emptiness. These comments disclose only a portion of this subject, so strive diligently and understand the ways of accomplishing serenity and insight, as elucidated by Maitreya, Asanga, and so on. If you fail to do so, you will mistake certain concentrations that are focused non-discursively, but without even reaching serenity, for the insight which cuts the root of cyclic existence. And after you have arrogantly held this to be an awareness without a truly existent object, as time goes by, you will certainly deceive yourself and others. The treatises of authoritative scholars and adepts assert that when you newly practice serenity, you exclusively focus your attention non-discursively in stabilizing meditation, and when you first practice insight, you meditate by means of analysis with discerning wisdom. Once you hold that all thought consists of grasping to true existence and discard it altogether, your understanding is turned directly away from the authoritative treatises, and you do not reach an errorless view of selflessness. Nevertheless, the notion that the absence of thought constitutes meditation on the profound object of insight is simply the unadulterated system of the Chinese master Hashang. Take a careful look at Kamala Shila's 3 stages of meditation, and you will understand. So here we'll end there, and Rinpoche said we'll do question and answers now. Yeah, we're doing that. And then we have a holiday coming up. Everybody be nice and safe. Okay. We have, okay, Ted. Oh, he's got you.
I wanted to ask, in the beginning when you were stating that there's a Buddha potential in all sentient beings.
Yes.
Could that potential be determined by the environment's conduciveness to the development of that Buddha within, whether or not that Buddha is realized?
Does the environment
have anything
play a part
yes.
in realizing Buddhahood?
Yes.
Rinpoche, the Shanchup Guna Sacha Ke Chempuldu?
No.
Sacha. Ngatsu the Shanchup, the Sanjay Sa Pe Guna? Then Sacha, Ngatsu Desa, Sacha Ke Chempuldu? La Dene, the Ngatsu Shanchup, Sacha La Dene?
Sacha lo de ne person suba de yoroda. O de le gonjagina ji gobayo jiroda. Doji den sanda da.
Lessa.
The net archi yoro. Dosul ji gon le jabaina de noba chamano.
Then Sacha the Sanjay ma pebi Sacha Yurbe. This the Sacha, then the Gonja, then Nyanlan, Sanjay, the Shanshu Yomare. Okay. Okay, so there is not a place or an environment that one could not become a Buddha in, but there are places that are more conducive to accumulating merit, such as holy places. And times where there are more conducive to accumulating merit, such as holy times. So Rinpoche gave the example of Bodh Gaya, for instance, or Varanasi. So places like this, pilgrimage-type places, are places where the environment would, it is said, create more power in the virtue you're creating. Not just showing up and you magically get something, meaning when you engage in virtue in those places, it's more powerful. It is said. So Rinpoche said, yeah, probably. He didn't say definitely this. He said, yeah, probably.
Thank you.
Meaning the environment plays a part because of that fact that there are environments where it's said there's more power. But nowhere there isn't a place where you can't become a Buddha.
The wind, you mentioned this. The wind, is that an energy, and can you use your awareness, attention to take the wind? Is it up and down the spinal cord? And can you?
The wind goes all through all of our channels of our whole body. Just to start this, so you have that as a starting point. The wind goes through all of our channels. It's like our veins almost.
Okay.
Just everywhere there's wind channels. Ngatsu lung ngatsu sukpo kasa kalala drogodoe. Lung. Okay. Then so the wind does go all over the body. And I'm sorry, I just the first question. Let's do it in stages of one question at a time. As soon as I hear "and," I get a couple questions in my head. Okay. So let's do one question at a time. So the first solid question is.
It's the wind.
The wind, yeah.
Yeah. The Buddha nature, which is always here.
Correct.
Is there a connection with the wind to find the Buddha nature? Is there a connection between the wind?
Oh, I see. You
energy?
asked initially if you could move the wind through meditation, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, that's
okay.
one
so
of
can you move, and is there a connection?
Or not so much move, but to cognize or know or have that the wind.
Can you know the wind? Meaning, like, can you cognize it?
To experience it.
Okay. And is it an energy?
Yeah.
Okay. Rinpoche, long, lo, tang drapo due, yomare.
Long da sheba de long la de yuzare sheba. Sheba de yulun joba long la de yulun joba yuzare.
So consciousness depends upon wind. So the consciousness mounts the wind, and that is how the consciousness abides. So our consciousness is mounted on the wind, and so there is a dependence upon our consciousness moving and thinking. And so when we're thinking, the wind is moving. So there is a connection between consciousness and wind, but it's not energy, like it could be energy depending on how you personally define energy. But if you define energy like CLMP, you know what I mean, the power plant, and that's all I can do, then it's not the same. One is wind and one is electric. So now the gom jana lung da tugudue gom jaken ne jopa. So yes, a yogi, a practitioner, can cognize the wind and manipulate the wind as well in meditation. But Rinpoche said cognize, I added the manipulate, but it's true.
I guess...
So we even know when the wind is going in and out, don't we? When we breathe in and breathe out, we're cognizing wind.
Yeah.
So that's what Rinpoche just said.
So if we're aware of it, the going in and coming out, if we're aware of the
that's wind, he's saying. That's an example of wind. So you are aware of that. So there's different, obviously, levels of understanding of the winds, but he's saying that coarsely you're understanding wind right now by cognizing the breath. So then you would go to a deeper way to be able to manipulate that wind. And you do have it right. There is a central channel and a right and a left channel, and you are trying to work with the various things to drop winds into the central channel.
The one-pointed shine or shamatha to look at the wind up and down. You can...
Well, the up and down, then now there's movement. Okay. So it's no longer a static thing.
All right.
The shine, lung, the shine, the lung mipa, shine mikpa lung. Digrebe.
Shene meba longe na diga kare na diga.
Then kon the yene the kon the tsa uma sanlo dana. Then the lung the Padro Marjo sanlo dana shine yo mare gangin sena the jagon.
So
there is a way to single-pointedly meditate upon wind, and there is also a way to analyze wind. So the two forms of meditation, single-pointed or fixed meditation is one category, and analytical meditation is the second category. Both of those categories you can apply to meditation on wind.
Thank you.
Stasha?
Zume kan zu yöse logo dos. Sheba yöbe.
Sheba dan zu gelwa.
Zume kan sheba yödan sheba dansa long de yödro. Long zuro.
Oh, I see. I see. So there's a there's a debate because the formless realm has form. Rinpoche is saying because wind is form. So how can it be a formless realm? Dene? Lencha agare. So I said, what do you do? What do you say? What's the response? How do you fix it? Lesso. Gutsu sun. Dene? Then garik dasi dan. Lencha agare. Zume kan zu yu. Okay, dama drup. Chapa majung. Sheba dama dru.
Sheba yu marba.
Sheba yu. Chapa majung.
Sheba yu na long yu machadas.
Sheba machayo mare. Sheba yu na long yu be chap.
Zume kan long yu hata.
Zume kan
Sheba
long.
yu bejer.
Kali kabudu. So it's difficult to get out of that one because you say that if there is consciousness, there's wind, and a formless realm being has consciousness, because they do. And so how is it a formless realm if there's form there? So it's a debate that occurs in the monastery. Dene? Nga chiran dasida. Dene the lenjak garare rinpoche. Dene zume kan chuchen zu yoata. Oh, okay. Do. Zume kan the yuna zu yubi mach zu. Zume kan mayimba tal?
Zume kan yi.
Zu meatal. Zume kan yimbe.
Zura ba mesh. Zura ba.
Ale. Dene zu tramo zu mayin.
Zu tam zu yi.
Dene zu yoata.
Zu yi. Zume kan mai ba zuro.
Yeah. I can train. Nga de indicate kejo de kanga de dan. De dan. Okay, so Rinpoche is saying that it isn't the coarse form of form that exists within the formless realm. It's a very subtle form of form that exists. It's the subtle form of form that exists that is in the wind that the consciousness rides on. So then Geshe La said, then form realms have form, and Rinpoche said yes. So then Geshe La said, so there is no formless realm. Because Rinpoche said, why? And he said, because there's subtle form, and subtle form is form, regardless of if it's coarse or subtle, it's form. So therefore, there is no formless realm. That's where we ended. Zume kan me.
Zume kan yedrot.
Zume kan me.
Zume kan me ata zu yeviche.
Me ata zu yeviche.
Zura ba mes.
Zu tramo zu mayimbatel.
Zu tramo zu yi.
Zu ya.
Zu yeviche.
Zu yi.
Zume kan me ata.
Zume kan yi. Zura ba me.
Circle. I don't know. See, where if you debate this correctly, you negate an entire realm of existence. See, this is the problem. Buddhism divides it into three realms: the form realm, formless realm, and desire realm. So by doing this, you are negating an entire realm. So there's a way out of it. We're not gonna do it, but there's gonna be left to our thoughts. But then lenja yapu garde. Zume kan me. Gangen sena de zuyo. Gangen sena de sentient yuna sheba yo cha. Sheba yuna lung yo cha. Lung yo zuyo cha. Lung yo yuna zuyo ma cha. Sure. So then I say, so then it's actually, formless realm is an answer to another question that proves something else that I got to think about the translation. Give me a second. I forgot. I'm sorry. It'll come back to me, but I can't do it right now. Zume kan. Zutramo yu. So I said, if there is wind, there is necessarily form, because wind is form. And Geshe Lharampa said, no. And I said, posit where there is wind but not form. And he said, formless realm. So, ngay samba zume kan me. Chik shena the zu rapa me kam. Maybe we'll call it the coarse formless realm. He said, well, that's fine. Rinpoche said that's it. So it's really literally the formless realm is referring to coarse formless. I guess when you look at how they define the formless realm, somewhere in there it must say the coarse formless forms, because in order for something to be in a realm, it has there has to be a mind possessor. If there's a mind, then there's wind. If there's wind, then there's, so that's the problem. It's that deep stuff that is really not applicable to us very much, but it keeps us busy. Any more questions? Why did the chicken cross the road? They were having a huge debate, a big scientific conference in Dharamsala, and the scientists and geshes and everybody was in there, and they were debating and going back and forth, and one geshe just stopped everything and said, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Nobody could agree on that. Very simple topic. You had to be there, I guess. It's funny when I heard the story.
Thank you.
The Dharamsala, the Chenrezig dan Geshe Mambo, the Geshe. Then the Sheda Trapo Geshe. Then Geshe Chi. The Gonga Chi, Gonga Tambo, Shati Tambo, Kagi, Jude. Okay. I was just telling what I said.
Thank you for the teaching. And are there specific practices to attaining the clairvoyances, or is that just a byproduct as you use merit and wisdom to eliminate the afflictive obstructions?
Okay. Rinpoche. Ngushe. 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 Data. Lam Yurube. Ju Yurube. The Sunan dan Gewa dan Tingenzi Yuna Ngushe Yongdue Ngushe Ju Kakare Shene dan Hatun Yuna Ngushe Yubicha Dene Ngushe Guna Ngushe Lang Nyamlen Chego Ngushe Lang? Kakare? Yeah, yes, okay. So there is a separate, it isn't a byproduct, it's a separate path, but you have to have calm abiding and the shine dang hlatum, shine kuna.
신의 라동고 그래.
Ngushe yona shine yobicha.
charjong
Cha. Okay, so if you have clairvoyance, you necessarily have calm abiding. You have single-pointed concentration. But if you have single-pointed concentration, you don't necessarily have clairvoyance. So you have to have the calm abiding, but then you have to create specific causes for the arisal of clairvoyance. It's a specific, it's separate set of causes. Yes.
In
independence upon calm abiding, then special insight can arise. But it's stated that in the Nejra Lana maybe Jukuna? Or okay, but in the highest yoga tantra teachings, there is a simultaneous arisal of calm abiding and special insight, that there isn't this dependence. It's a simultaneous. Second question?
And would it work? I don't know. Would it work based on like those closest to you and time-wise proximity? Like, would you be able to, as you develop these insights, would you be able to see easier the people that are closer to you in shorter, like, future-wise time? I don't know how to put it into words.
If you have a connection to the person, is your clairvoyance towards them stronger?
Yes, and would you be able to see things, like, as it develops before you...
The future?
Yes, before you obtain omniscience, would you be able to see, like, short distances in the future first? And then as you progress, you could see further into the future until you... Ngushe
the Rimbo Yurube Rinpoche Gangishin Kong Triwa the Ngushe Yunkeng the Kashe Sanyi Hakogudu Kashe Dontachi Hakogudu Kashe Dawachi Hakogudu Sanjay Namchen Kanga Hakogudu then Ngushe Rimbo Dang Jar Yurube. So yeah, there are stages of clairvoyance as one progresses through the paths that I said, does it go where you would have a clairvoyance of 1 day, then 2 days, then 1 week, then 1 month, and as it gradually increases to the point of omniscience? And he said, yes, that's the truth. That's exactly how it occurs. Maybe we have 1 or 2 more questions? 3 more? 3 more questions.
It has to do with the right or the left channel and the relationship of the right and the left to the central channel. What is the relationship?
They're to the right and the left of the central channel.
Yeah.
You know, that's the I mean, it's like almost like asking what's the our right arm and our left arm. When I ask him, they believe that this channel is right here and right here and right here. The I don't know that there is a relationship so much as it's just anatomy. You know what I mean? Or physio. I don't know. Does that make sense? Anatomical.
It's anatomical.
Anatomy. Yeah.
As opposed to energetic or energy.
Energies flow through them, but they wouldn't be energy.
Right, so they're separate, and the right and the left are separate from the center.
Correct.
And there isn't an interaction between them.
The Rinpoche nga kanga tsawa umitsa dang eba dan nyumba yurbe.
Rujani da oma da rujani sedo.
Dene the nga kanga yurbe. So yeah, they all have all the tantras present this central right and left channel.
Okay.
So there's just, this is the presented how it works. Like when you look at a body, and if it were, you know, drawn, you would see this central, and you would see a right and a left, and there would be all of these channels that come off of it as well.
Oh, I see. They come off at what point?
All over the place.
Down.
The secret place, yeah. Rinpoche, the ngatsu eba da nyumba the tsa. Then the yine ngatsu sukpo tsa kasakala yure, then the Jawa yurebe ngatsu tsa kasakala dang unsa dang eba dan yumba the sa jenda Jawa yurebe. Then kabar nyamdu sha sawan sacha kona ngatsu go kasakala. At the chakra points, where the chakras are is where they would meet the other channels.
Okay.
Where the chakra points are, depending on, we'll leave it at that. But wherever the chakra points are, Rinpoche said that the crown chakras, the throat chakra, heart chakra, down to the secret chakras. I could be wrong, but I think certain tantras present it slightly differently as well. So we just say where the chakras are is where the points of connection are.
Okay.
Then at Rinpoche, the Korlo Kuna, the Jawa, the Eba Nyumba, the Jenda, the Jawa Yurbe. But then he said there's also connections all over the central and right and left channels. Maybe the central locations of these are the chakra points, but Rinpoche is saying there's connections all over the down, right, and left.
Okay. And this is a quick question on terminology. It's insight and realization. Are they the same? Because you see them. Oh, and so how do
a realization? This is just English stuff, so I can't really ask Rinpoche. But a realization could be realizing impermanence, realizing that this is a book and not a car. Whereas insight in this case is referring to something very specific, insight into the nature of reality.
Ah, okay.
So insight is a realization, but all realizations aren't insight.
All right. And you said insight into the nature of reality.
Emptiness.
Right. Can that also be termed as insight into the nature of mind?
No.
No, it's two different things then.
Well, the nature of mind is the same as everything. The nature of mind and the nature of hand and the nature of nose and the nature of book is all the same, empty.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Right. Okay, thank you.
Thanks. The nature of mind has the nature of reality, but the nature of reality doesn't necessarily the nature of mind.
I think you might have just answered this, but I might as well ask it anyway. The trouble that I was having was with this concentration, attending to an image without discursive thought. Thinking single-pointed concentration. And I'm trying to figure out how to get that idea to play well with the idea of non-discursive thought. Because if I, let's say, the object of single-pointed concentration is a flower. Well, the first thing that I have to do to get it single-pointed is I have to separate it from its context. So I have to say, is it the flower or is it the stem? Is it the flower plus the vase and the table it's standing on?
Well, you have to establish your object of observation in totality before you begin. So maybe your mind has to go through all of that to get there. Those would be your own stages, but that, you know what I mean, that you're trying to get to the point where there isn't that thought. That's the goal, the non-discursive, single-pointed. But you're getting there by doing it over and over and over again, so you don't have to think about, okay, there's the petal, there's the stem. You just go, boom, flower.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so essentially...
Boom, flower. Once you're there, it's flower.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking that that all of that previous discursive thinking is still there somehow.
No.
Okay.
Rinpoche, the tingenzi guna, tsalo mamodangu, then the par, the kadokare, dan the sanje, the ser, dan sanje, the go, then the yure, the yure, the yure. The salo mambo dandu. Then kongi tsampa, then ne tingenze lena, the jegon detsi yure, gangin sena salo, tramo detsi yure, gangin sena par, zugugdu.
Tingenze takante, miba garilo cheyo maras, nanjuba jundu chobaros, tingenze gongan koron dobares.
Yine kongi tsampa, the mikpa, yona, tsalo tramo yure, gangin sena kadok yure, de yure, de yure, de yure, the tsalo dets gu, then tsalo tramo yure, tingenzi gong kongi tsampa. Yo marebe? Tsalo tramo yo marebe?
Yes.
Dene the jegom yo barebe.
Tingenze gondu cheba cheyo mar tombo. Tombo macheba gon. Tene chegon jogo legro.
Dene the lena tingenzi lena salo tramo yo mare. Salo tramo yure. So there is subtle thinking. Subtle, very subtle. Because you're in your mind, you're putting together these parts somehow or another. There is a subtle construction that has to be happening because you're thinking about an object. There's dependent origination. It doesn't end. Dependent origination doesn't end. So tingenzi the ngatsu le lobjong tingenzi lena de salo yomare the mikpa chik kuna sanlo genda yomare. Yine sanlo tramo yurebe? Ale mikpa sanlo tramo yine mikpa genda sanlo tramo yomare. So you have a subtle thought process, but it's only about that one object of observation. It's putting it together. You aren't, as soon as you move to any other object of observation, it's blown, even if it's subtly. So that subtle thinking is only related to that picked object of observation, the one you picked. So if you start subtly thinking about something other than that, then you don't have single-pointed concentration. But within single-pointed concentration, there is subtle thinking. Now, I'd have to look up what the discursive word they're using for that is and see if that's the best pick. What is discursive? What would that mean? It's like conceptual, right?
Yeah.
Like painting a picture, basically, with thinking.
Yeah, going further down, it just basically said mental conversation is the discursive thought, this is this. So this is this, that is that.
So the Lamrim Chenmo nang la de yure then does it say that goes away? That's what we're saying. This is this and this is that is no longer.
Let's see, focusing on the mind, perceiving various things.
So it's saying discrimination is. I don't think that's right. I think it may be a translation issue.
Serenity. Yeah, it identifies. It says mental conversation is the discursive thought. This is this.
So that may be
focusing on the mind, which is perceiving various things. Reject mental conversation and cultivate serenity.
Coarse. Mental conversation is coarse. Must be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're kind of in the same place as with the formless realm and the subtle.
Yes. But it says it doesn't, it defines discursiveness by a very specific definition of this conversation, whereas what we're talking about is more of a dependent origination of the mind in a very subtle way. What we're doing every moment, we're doing it, book, but you know what I mean? We're seeing this, we're putting it together and saying that's a book, and we're being specific, like this is a prayer book. And I can go, and I can think of everything that's in it. I just did. Like, okay, yep, all the prayers that are in it. You know what I mean? So we do that all the time. So this is just saying, like, we're just that object we're doing that with only. Subtly.
Okay.
That subtle kind of, or just like right now when we think of a butterfly, something just happened there.
So we're not trying to eliminate that. That's part of the process.
That's part of the process, but the building wouldn't be building. It would just be there once you got to the single pointed place.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You wouldn't have to build it each time. You'd get to the point where it was built. The object of observation would be in its total form once you achieve it. So, but you know, you'd have to go, okay, now I'm going to sit down. That's why you could, once you have single pointed concentration, move to any object you want, because you have to settle it and then fix it. You know what I mean? And while you're holding it, you have to be holding off non-object simultaneously, subtly. You have to be. There has to be subtle barriers that are there, or your mind would just, there has to be some kind of subtlety there.
Yeah. It just naturally wants to go to the next related thought.
Right. So there's got to be, just as there's got to be something inhibiting that. And that's also got to be part of the discrimination that's taking place. Anyway, deep thoughts by, yes.
I want to reflect back on the clairvoyance question. With your response, can Rinpoche give some feedback with regards to, is it possible to have those abilities or attainments regardless of whether the person has virtue or non-virtue?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, regardless of if they have non-virtue, or really, the megewa mena ngushe yong tugdue the ngushe the dene jewa ngama shinken gewa gua
Good.
ngushe gewa depo dene the yine megewa yunken ngushe yu nyamdu. So non-virtue does not create clairvoyance, though. Clairvoyance is created by virtue. So,
So one can have clairvoyance.
but you can still have non-virtue
and
have clairvoyance. Okay. You know what I mean? You could.
And use.
You aren't a Buddha because until you're either an arhat, you have subtle forms of non-virtue still. No matter where you are, you have subtle. So yes. So
that clairvoyance can be utilized in non-virtuous ways.
The ngushe yunken dipasa tudue. Yes.
Thank you.
Milarepa, the me kashe seson ngushe. Yeah, Milarepa, before he went on the path and became a Buddha, killed people with his black magic. Any more?
I'm in the middle of reading that right now, actually.
The Life of Milarepa? Great book. I love that book. One of my favorites. I got obsessed with it. I read it in like a day and plus. I just went for it. Like overnight stuff. I was obsessed with it. I liked it. There's some really moving parts of that book. Are we done? We're done. Okay. No one else has a question? There's a part of the book where Dalai Lama always, I think it's in that book, but whenever he tells the story of Milarepa, he always cries when all these students came to him and asked him how did he achieve these realizations, and he got up and pulled his pants down and showed him all the calluses on his butt, and said from sitting and meditating all of these years on this rock in this cave, there was no special recipe, it's just from practice. And Dalai Lama always cries when he tells the story. And I think it's in the Life of Milarepa book. I'm sorry?
Can you spell that?
The Life of Milarepa. M-I-L... I can't air spell. Yeah. I'm not an air speller. A-R-E-P-A? Okay, concluding mandala offering and dedication prayer. The fundamental ground is scented with incense and strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha land and it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure land. I dedicate whatever virtues I have collected for the benefit of the teachings and of all sentient beings, and in particular for the essential teachings of Venerable Lobsang Drakpa to shine forever. I send forth this jeweled mandala to you, precious Guru. I dedicate all this virtue to emulate the knowledge of the hero Manjushri and likewise Samantabhadra as well, with whatever dedication is praised as supreme by all the conquerors who traverse the 3 times. I also dedicate all my roots of virtue for the sake of auspicious deeds. In that pure land surrounded by snowy mountains, you are the source of all benefit and happiness. All-powerful Avalokiteshvara Tenzin Gyatso, may you stay until samsara's end. Pray for the long life of the precious Khensur Wandak, upholder of scriptural and realizational doctrines, the spiritual friend who trained extensively in the 5 great philosophical texts with exceptional wisdom and perseverance. Tuji Rinpoche Guti Shapi Denronan. Be careful with that book, too. Rinpoche always tells the story of a Tibetan man who read that book and then gave everything he owned